Team Grind, how you living? It's the kid, DreyThe out here back with another video. What I'm about to talk about today, I'm about to do my week's worth of current event topics. This is where I talk about all the topics that I want to talk about during the week, but I didn't really get a chance to. But you found my channel the first time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it on social media. So I'm on social media, be in the description below. Hey yo, let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we're gonna talk about Tyler. Also, be on the lookout on my Tyler versus Tim Alpha album live stream that I plan on doing coming up. Be on the lookout for that. But anyway, though, Tyler goes on a radio show and she talks about how men don't. I don't know if I can say the word, so I'm gonna just say limp. She said how men don't limp for women anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down piece by piece. First of all, let's be real. If you are in a loving relationship with a woman, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you doing things for your women. There's nothing wrong with you buying your girlfriend stuff. There's nothing wrong with you taking your girlfriend out on dates. There's nothing wrong with you coming home and she got rose petals and heart-shaped balloons and roses all over the place, and you spell out "I love you" on the bed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because in a relationship, you're not supposed to you're supposed to make sure your woman's not bored, and also if you're able to, make sure your woman's taken care of, make sure she's not broke. But however, that's for the broke part. That goes for when you're locked in with each other. Not so much when you're going through the talking phase. Yes, take out dates when y'all going through the talking phase, but as far as like paying bills, taking care of her, make sure she's good. That's for later on. We y'all locked in with one another. But with that being said, most men do actually, in fact, still, limp for women. Men are out here doing it still on a day-to-day basis when you go out in public. And I'm going to be honest, for a man who's limped in his personal life, I can tell you right now, limping does not help really any positive result. What's a limp? A limp is basically a person who let their partner pretty much walk all over them out of fear of their partner not liking them. It doesn't really know how to put their foot down, or when you do put your foot down, it's very far in between. Not so much the person really respects you, but kind of like stop for the moment but start back to it. But I disagree with Tyler on here. There's plenty of men out here still limping, and all honesty, limping in a relationship doesn't really help any positive results. Now moving on again, we back on this whole Memphis Bleak versus Tony Ayo and Uncle Murder situation, and he just pretty much destroyed him again. Because for those who don't know, I'm not sure if I said this in my last video, but he called him dependent, and Tony Ayo pretty much proved that he is in fact a dependent, because he proved his point by saying without Curtis Jackson he would have nothing. And he pretty much lets him know that he don't. They tried to say how they don't need Curtis Jackson for anything, but they clearly do. And he pretty much proved the point. And speaking of Curtis Jackson decided in 2026 that he wants to relaunch his G Unit sneakers. I'm just gonna come out and say this right now. If you walk around with some G Unit sneaker in 2026, you deserve to be roasted. Because what is wrong with you? You are 35 years old, probably still drinking Tang juice. You 40 years old, still walk around with a Walkman and a CD player in 2026. This shit is going to flop. Just like when you try to bring back the G Unit tank tops, and that flopped. And also in other news, Bun B did his Ryan Dirty concert down here in Houston. I didn't get a chance to go, but for what I've seen and what I heard about some of the online reviews, I heard it was a good show. Shout out to Bun B. He does a lot of great things for the city of Houston. He's a legend. It is great to see him get his flowers. Well, that's the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it on social medias. Maybe ever see the grind, see the underground takeover, man. Let's get it.